Hey, this is Scott from PRSSetups.com, place where you get 2 different builder setup packs for 20 bucks a month. We are at Michigan. Take a lap. Alright, what I showed you was about 15 laps into the run. I'm running bottom, which is actually the fastest way around. But what people end up doing is, because this track is so draft dependent, people run a little bit higher, which is essentially the place where you defend your position fairly easily. But I'm going to show you this line. If you need to pass in turn 1, this is the most effective way to do it. On the short run, the bottom will be a little bit better, but the top draft is still going to be tough to beat. So I'll show you the fastest way around, but I think you're going to end up just in a big draft line, and if you're in that draft line, just kind of stay up. And the people that's going to be dive bombing, you're going to have people that's going to make up positions. You can do that. I'm going to show you the line to do that, but for the most part, you can kind of cover them off and make them fall behind you. That's all strategy, but it's up to you. So let's go over lap for a bottom. Start to turn in here at the light. The top lane is going to be roughly the same lift and throttle points. So you see these signs here. This is where you lift at. If you're going to run on the top line, you're going to straddle this seam, and then you're going to come down and put your lefts on this seam. So you're going to come in, put the lefts on this seam and come off. But on this, we're going to show you the bottom. And then your throttle up point is O'Reilly. Now, if you're on the bottom and you get too loose and you still want to do the bottom, put your lefts on this seam, and that should fix your loose off. And there is a big bump in here through turn 2 that if you're not careful and you're running the bottom, you're going to hit, and it's going to shoot the car sideways. Just be aware of that. So you go through there about part throttle. You notice I'm at 75%, just kind of waiting for the bump. And if you drive low enough, you can actually get around the bump. So take note of that. If you're on the first seam here, the bump is there too, so be aware of that. The higher you go, the less it affects the car because you're not putting as much wheel in it. So if you're on the second seam here, then you don't have to worry about it that much. But it's still going to be there, and it still may throw you sideways. Then you aim for the sign right here on exit. Alright, into 3, we're actually turning before the light to kind of get in. You notice the dark, where the pavement gets dark for the rubber, and essentially I'm putting my front end right at the top part of that. And then you're letting off right here about the NASCAR sign, Crown Royal, right in here. That's the best marker we've got. But just past where the track darkens, maybe about 20 feet in. And this is essentially going to be where everybody runs to. The bottom in 3 and 4 is actually the fastest. So just be aware of that. The first seam is okay, the second seam's a little slower, and then the very top is actually kind of the slowest. But you know, when the draft goes, it's hard to beat. Then throttle up here at the Geico sign. Be nice on the throttle. then you're aiming for the light. That's it here at Michigan. So notice I kept it in 4th gear. There's no draft. For the race set, we're gonna run. You can have 2 choices of gear. You can have this one, which you could probably keep in 4th. You may have to shift into 5th. This is the lower gear option. The higher gear option, you're gonna end up shifting. So that's kind of a you choice, if you want to shift or not. But for what I've got right now, I'm choosing not to shift for the neutral set. I may go back before I release it. I may bump it back up, but this is only for solo runs, showing you how to run it. The other thing to note is that it's going to be really hard to pass, so the best way to set up a pass is, get on someone's right rear, side draft them, and really just do the slide job into the corner. Try to get in front of them. If you've got a gap between the car in front of you and the car in front of them, got 2 or 3 car lengths, you can get up in there. Make sure you cover the top so they don't get back under you and all that. So you may need to save fuel. It's 45-ish laps on fuel. You may throw it in a 5th. If you're right at that 45 mark, you may clutch it at the end of the straightaways, things like that, to save fuel. It's going to be 6 wide. We're probably going to have a decent amount of cautions because everybody's going to go crazy. The other thing is, this is going to be the last race with this tire model and this aero model for the NextGen. So enjoy it. It may be better next time. It may be worse. They said they're going to fix the drafting model, which means the side draft's going to be atrocious, and then you'll get a run for the trailing car. But this is it for what I got for Michigan this week. You can experiment with 2 tires if you'd like, but 10 to go, you always take 2. So that's it. Good luck, everybody.